Hydrangeas are amongst some of the most impressive of your mid to late summer flowering shrubs. And you can see why they have a fantastic range of colours. You have a fantastic range of flower shapes and sizes. But when it comes to cutting these, either at the end of flowering or come the spring or the winter, there is a lot of confusion. And I understand why, because there are two groups of hydrangeas, and if you cut one of those the wrong way around, you'll ruin your displays by simply preventing your plant from flowering the following year. So it's an important job and people get it wrong. So in this video, I'm going to break it down into those basic groups, and I've got a little tip for you which will also help. So I'll tell you what the problem is. I'll explain exactly what you need to do. And once you have that knowledge, you'll make the perfect cut with your hydrangeas year after year after year. Right, cup of tea, tea, one sugar, tea, coffee. When I was a young, fresh-faced nurseryman, if you went down to the local garden centre, you would probably only find 2, maybe 3 different hydrangeas to choose from. Usually a couple of blue ones and a pink one that nobody bought because pink is a terrible colour. Now today, of the 98 species that science agrees exist of hydrangeas, you might find 6 or 7 species plus multiple cultivars of each. The range is fantastic, and the varieties are fantastic too. The problem is they come in 2 groups that I've invented. You have your first group, which is all of your plants which flower on the previous season's wood or old season's wood, and you've got another group of plants that flower on fresh growth from that year, so new season's growth. They must be cut differently in order to get them to flower. And if you cut them the opposite way around, you won't get any flower. You've got to be so careful. That's not exactly true, but I will get into the details of it. So I'll explain what the 2 groups are. I'll explain how to cut each one. There will be a lot of plant names bandied around, not too many. So I hope that doesn't make it too complicated. We're going to start with, I do have a fantastic little tip for you. If all else fails, go by this tip. It's going to solve most of your problems. Just had a funny thought. I probably won't pass it on. So, how does this work? This first group of plants, I didn't really come up with these myself, includes all of your plants that flower on the previous season's woods. So these will include the flowering group Villosa, which is really lovely. You don't see it very often. It includes Quercifolia. It includes Serrata, which some people argue that this is a Macrophylla subspecies. It will include all the Macrophyllas, which will be your Mopheads and your Lacecaps. That Serrata is also Lacecappy. All of these flower on the previous season's wood. So on the whole, you can get away with never cutting these at all. You really don't have to do it. So come the spring, all of your flowers will produce quite happily on that old wood. The job is done without doing any pruning whatsoever. Now, if you do want to do some pruning, then you would do this immediately after flowering. You wouldn't do too much, light pruning, just make those cuts just above a healthy set of buds, and that is the job done. Now, there are 2 caveats. When it comes to the Macrophylla ones, they do come to leaf quite early on in the year, and as such they can be prone to damage from late frost. And because of this, the the general technique is to leave the old flower heads on, so no pruning whatsoever until the spring. That gives you like a cushion of old blooms that help protect the foliage from the late frost. So with those, you just never touch it. The only time you start touching it is after the late frost, and then you take off those old dead flower heads. That really is it. But I understand in some people's gardens, these particular cultivars can get really quite big, up to about 2 meters, maybe a wee bit more, and you might struggle to house that size of a plant, in which case you can cut them. But rather than just give it a blanket cut, because then you'll get no flowers the following year, you would take a third of the stems and cut those back down to about 6 to 12 inches. Next year that will grow back nice and fresh, not as tall, and of course no flowers. But that doesn't matter, because the 2/3 you left, they will have flowers. And then every year you would take a third, cut it back down, and you just do that every single year. So you'll always have some flowers and the plant won't be too big. So there you go. That is all you need to know about how to prune all those hydrangeas that flower on the previous season's wood. Unless you have pink hydrangeas, then every year you can just cut it down to ground level. It will never flower. You will never have to put up with that atrocious colour form. Oh, hold on a minute. If you're finding this video useful or even just mildly amusing, then don't forget to click the thumbs up, press on that subscription, and if you want to be notified of whenever we release a new video, then click on that notification bell. It helps us more than you know, and it allows us to do stupid visits like this in the future. Anyway, let's continue to find out what old boiled butt has to say. Oh, bloody glasses, too hot, too sunny. It's too lovely. Right, now this second group is actually quite easy. It only contains 2 species, lots of different cultivars from these species, but only 2 species that I'm only worried about, and that is your arborescens and that is your Paniculata. So of these 2, both of these flower on new wood. So come the spring, you would chop these back. Now you've got 2 choices. You can either take those stems back to a third, and they'll just grow back and they'll flower on those. But again, these plants can get quite big. So if the plants are too big for where they are, then you can take a harder cut, take them down to about 12 inches again. It will grow back much smaller, but there's a bonus in that you'll get many more flowers. So that's quite simple, isn't it? So just those 2 species, cut them back in the spring, they'll bounce back, loads of flowers. Just don't get the 2 mixed up, which shows the importance of knowing what your plant is called. And there you go. Did you want my tip? Well, this is it. Right. Everybody likes blue hydrangeas, don't they? Of course they do. You'll find that all of your blue forms are going to be in that group which are flowering on the old season's wood. So if you've got blue hydrangeas, you're going to love this. You don't need to cut them. And you certainly wouldn't give them a hard cut in the spring, because that is crazy talk. And I know people do it because they have been given the wrong information. So if it's blue, you don't cut it. If it's any other colour, especially pink, you can cut it. Now, of course, white ones are going to get caught in the crossfire there. So it's just a general tip. It's in case if you just don't know, but you know it's blue, then that's going to be an easy way out of knowing how to cut them. So there you go. That is all my advice. Hopefully I've kept it quite simple regarding cutting, pruning, trimming and deadheading your hydrangeas. But if there are any other really good tips that I haven't mentioned or haven't come across, put that in the comments. I would really like to hear from you. So there you go. Old wood, new wood, cut them differently. Job done. If it's blue, don't cut it. Any other colour, you can cut it. You're just going to be a bit sticky with white and pink macrophyllas. But again, If you know what the name is, you know what group it's in, you know how to prune it. I think I rambled on enough about this. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Right, now, just before you go, if you want to see more content, more behind the scenes stuff, and images that I've taken of some weird freaky plants over the years, then you're in luck, because we've created an Instagram page. So you can find the link in our description, you can find the link on our main page, and if I'm clever enough I might be able to get a link somewhere up there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more YouTube stuff, then check out this video here. That's quite a good one. And if it doesn't float your boat, then another one right there. And enjoy these while I still got the strength, imagination and aptitude to make them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.